Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're doodling in my sketchbook. In particular, we're doodling one of my older OCs. If you guys have seen any of my sketchbook tours, you would have seen this guy a couple of times, not super frequently or anything. This is Ghost Boy. He is a ghost and a boy. He really doesn't have any lore or story behind him. He's just a character that I would doodle from time to time. Whenever I was like, this was back when I was daily posting on Instagram, and I was like, I don't know what to draw. And I was just like, I'll just draw Ghost Boy doing some random shit. And so he was just an OC I had, and I would just draw him doing random shit from time to time. Like he would be drinking hot cocoa for the holidays, or he would be sitting by himself, or he would be looking sad. I feel like a lot of the drawings I did of him, he was looking a little bit sad, just because, you know, he is a ghost. Like I said, though, he doesn't have any lore or anything, but I was thinking about him, because I was flipping through some of those old sketchbooks, and I was like, I haven't drawn Ghost Boy in like 5 years. I think he is in this upcoming sketchbook tour, and I think it might be the last time I drew him. It might have been in 2020 or in 2021, but that's been about three or 4 years, which is a long time to not draw an OC. So I was like, let me just draw Ghost Boy again. It's been a while. And so this is just a little doodle page of Ghost Boy. Nothing really substantial, nothing super amazing or anything. I wouldn't say I hate these drawings. I just don't, I feel like they're kind of like meh, not much going on. I feel like I could have done more. But the whole thing about Ghost Boy is he doesn't really do much. He doesn't have lore. He doesn't really interact with other people. Every time I was drawing him, he was always by himself. He would like interact with the audience. Like he would always be looking at the camera, quote unquote camera, but he would always be looking at the audience typically, because we were the ones who were interacting with him. But he didn't have any characters around him or anything. He kind of only exists by himself. He doesn't have a backstory. He doesn't have a name. He's not exactly a person. He's just like a ghost boy. And so when I was doing these little drawings of him, I was like kind of blanking out what I wanted to do, what I wanted to draw him doing. And so I did end up creating like a little, it's not really a character. It's kind of like if you ever watch anime or cartoons, when you need a person to be like a stand-in, which you don't actually want to do like a whole character design, you just draw like a blank person, and like they'll have like a mouth and stuff, maybe they'll have like a nose, but they don't really have a face, right? They don't really have a face. So I drew a little no face character for him to like bounce off of. It's a little bit hard though, because Ghost Boy does not talk, and I understand like these are limitations I'm putting on myself for the character, and like I could make him talk and stuff like that, and I could give him lore and backstory and stuff, but I kind of feel like that goes against all of Ghost Boy's like premise as a character. I feel like he could work as a character if he had somebody to bounce off of, and so that's what these little comic drawings that I do like sort of kind of at the bottom are for. And so I feel like Ghost Boy could exist as like a little comedy character, and he just gets up to ghost shenanigans, and someone's like, hey buddy, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know, but he doesn't say it, he just shrugs. That's kind of like the whole premise behind the character anyway. I drew him like kind of sadly looking out the window. I assume he lives in a house. I don't know. For a while I was doing this page, I was like, should I give Ghost Boy a little bit more lore? Should I like try to delve deep and just, you know, do those cliche ghost stories when the ghost is friendly, where someone comes into the house and they meet a ghost and like, oh my gosh, a ghost, but the ghost is like, no, it's okay, I'm chill. And like, okay, cool, chill ghost, hey ghost, after they become friends, or they're like, what happened to you in your life? And so that's what this first little comic is about. And so at the bottom, the little no face character is like, so who are you before, you know, you died? And Ghost Boy's like, and then he just shrugs. He's like, I don't know. And so Ghost Boy, he doesn't know anything about himself. He doesn't have a name. He doesn't know his name. He doesn't know who he was in his past life. He wears a t-shirt, and that's pretty much all there is to know about Ghost Boy. And I think that's really funny. Like, if you were just like subverting like the whole ghost thing, it's like he must be tortured, right? He must have unfinished business. But if he does, he doesn't know what it is. I feel like that also is something that goes along with ghost stories, is like the ghost doesn't know what happened to them or how they died and stuff like that. And like that's what the human's job is, to figure out how the ghost died and like uncover their unfinished business. But I don't really know if I want Ghost Boy to have unfinished business, or even if it's like I want it to be like sad. I don't feel like Ghost Boy is a sad character. Like, he's sad because he's like a ghost, but I don't really think like it's like a whole backstory type thing where he's like, oh, I was murdered, you have to solve my murder so I can like move on, or it's like, oh, it's just a sad kid, lonely kid, and I just died in my house on my own, and like I never had any friends or anything, and so it'll help me get some friends and then I'll be able to move on. I don't really see him as any of those things, and it's also going to be really hard to like come up with stuff with that because he doesn't talk, and I really don't want to make him talk. So I feel like Ghost Boy could just exist in like the ether. He's just kind of like a character that exists. He doesn't really do anything, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that sort of thing. I feel like if I ever did make a story with him, which I probably will not ever do, because like I said, I don't feel like he's the type of character who should have a story per se. If I was, though, it was gonna be like a 4-panel comic where like the person that lives in his house, he just bounces himself off of that person, basically. Like, he does ghost shenanigans, and the person's like, I'm getting real sick of your shit, dude, type thing. Like a little 4-panel comic, slice of life type thing. It would not be anything serious or anything too deep. It would just be something sort of kind of fun, just kind of like maybe like Garfield type comic, if that makes sense. Not like Garfield exactly, but like just, Ghost Boy shenanigans, 4 panels, something silly. You never learn why he's a ghost. You never learn how he ended up in the house. You never learn his name. He just exists as a ghost. And maybe he's always been a ghost. Maybe he died and he became a ghost. Maybe he's not a ghost at all and he's just like astral projecting his consciousness into like an astral form, and his body exists somewhere else. But yeah, I don't think that's really important. I don't think every character needs to have like a backstory or like a story with substance. Some characters just exist to be fun, just to be funny, just to be a little bit silly sometimes. It can be fun to have like lore and background and stuff like that, but I don't really think it's necessary for little comic characters like Ghost Boy. I really don't feel like digging deep into him. I mean, I should give him a name at least, but I really don't want to. I feel like Ghost Boy is like a good enough name for him. But yeah, I had fun drawing him, actually. Like I said, it has been a couple of years since I've last drawn him, so I kind of felt like I wasn't going to be able to get him to look exactly in the way that I was doing before. And you know what? I really did not. I was not able to get him to look the way that he did before, but I think that was okay. I will get the hang of it again if I try drawing him somewhere, which I probably hopefully will. I kind of feel bad. There's a lot of OCs that I have that get neglected and put to the wayside. Like my OC Hope, he used to be my like main OC, and he still kind of is in my heart, but it's been a really long time since I drew him. I draw him in one of the videos for this week, but I feel like that drawing was really shitty, and that drawing sort of kind of made me realize like I did not draw Hope enough, and especially because he actually helped me get a lot better at drawing, just because I was so inspired to draw him, and I feel really bad because for a while he was my muse, and I feel like he's not my muse anymore, and it makes me feel really guilty. And so I have to get back to drawing him. But I have so many other OCs that I don't draw ever too, and it's like Ghost Boy is not like a character that has backstory and stuff, but I still miss drawing him. He's just a little guy. He just gets up to little things, he doesn't really do much, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal if I just draw him like every once in a while in my sketchbook, just to be like, Ghost Boy's hanging out, Ghost Boy's watching TV, Ghost Boy's drinking some coffee, or probably not coffee. Ghost Boy, I don't think he likes coffee. I think he likes hot cocoa. But you know what I mean? Just like a little doodle in the corner of Ghost Boy. I feel like I always say like I always draw my OCs, which is true. I am primarily an OC artist, but there's so many of them that I have that are just so neglected. Like so many of them I haven't drawn for like 10 years at this point. And so I feel really bad. So I feel a little bit better now that I brought one of my OCs back from the dead. It's kind of ironic that it's the ghost. But yeah, I really missed drawing him. And this was a lot of fun. I kind of got back into the swing of how I draw him like really fast. Like I drew the first face, and then after that I was like, got it. That's Ghost Boy. I drew his hair over and over again. I was like, I know how to do this. It's been a while, but I still have that muscle memory, which was good. That was nice. Like I said, he doesn't really look the way that he looked before, but I feel like my style has changed a lot since the last time I drew Ghost Boy. Not entirely sure if I can pinpoint exactly how my style has changed. I think I was drawing faces longer back then in 2020, but honestly I don't really know. I should probably examine my style a little bit more, honestly, just so I can see where the improvements are or where the mistakes that I'm making. But I was gonna say I don't really think too hard about art, but that was 100% not true. I think very hard about a lot of things. But yeah, I don't really look back on my art too much. I sort of kind of see it like, oh, I can improve on this and this here, but I don't really see it as like, this is what I used to do when I was drawing, and this is what I do now. And I'm not sure if I'm 100% conscious of it like that, but maybe I should be. And then I did this one drawing where I tried to make him look scary, and that drawing looks like shit. The one in the top right corner, I'm like, that drawing was ugly. But I don't mind pointing it out to you guys, because sometimes I drew a page of little doodles and one of them comes out ugly, but that's okay. It's good to try. I have to get better at drawing like monster stuff and like scary things. Honestly, I I used to draw like gore, but nothing that was like really like frightening in like a visceral sense. Like gore is like not really scary. It's just like ew. It's like skeevy. You know what I mean? It's not really like frightening. Not really good at drawing like frightening things or like monsters or something like that. But I feel like Ghost Boy should have like a scarier ghost form, just for like the jokes and stuff like that. So I really have to figure out how I want to do that. And so, yeah, and I actually am coloring something this week. Oh my gosh. I had to color it. Honestly, Ghost Boy, I used to color him with this Copic marker. I colored him with B00 because it says boo, get it? But I didn't want to use a Copic for this because I do want to use the whole of the page. But this blue marker pretty much looks the same as that blue Copic. So yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'll go ahead and see the next one. Bye.